Hello everyone. In last video, we discussed what is signal, how do we classify signals. Now next, we move to representation of signals and the transformations on the signals. So first of all, representation. If we talk about continuous time signal, there are two different ways of representing. When I mean continuous time, it means that I am assuming that the independent variable is time. As most of the time in this chapter, in this subject rather, we will be dealing with independent variable as time. So the things what we are discussing, it will be with respect to that time. So continuous time signal can be represented using two methods. One is using mathematical function and another is graphical. Suppose there is a sinusoidal signal xt. I can write its mathematical function as a sine omega t. That is, it is a function of independent variable time t. There might be another signal. Suppose x2t is 2t. It is also a function of t, right? So mathematically we can write that. Or graphically, we can sketch the sinusoidal signal, represent their maximum, minimum, and different values at different instants of time. We can represent that. That is also graphical representation of any continuous time signal. Now, for discrete time signal, there are four different ways of representation. Number one is mathematical function like this. Now, whenever we talk about discrete time signal, we represent it by x of n, where n is integer. So it is representing the discrete signal, and x of t is representing a continuous time signal, where t is the independent variable, here n is representing the discrete time instants. So mathematically, I can write any function like 2 raised to power n. It is a signal defined by 2 raised to power n. So this is function of n. That is the one way. Second is graphically. We can plot for different values of n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe minus 1, minus 2. So if you put that, 2 raised to power 0 becomes 1, 2 raised to power 1, 2, 2 raised to power 2, 4, 2 raised to power 3, 8, and so on. Likewise, 2 raised to power minus 1, 1 by 2, that becomes 0.5. So that is a graphical way of representing the discrete time signal. Then third method is using the set theory. I can say xn is equals to this curly brackets. I write the magnitudes at discrete instants. Like if I talk about the same signal, we can say 0.5, 1, 2, 4, 8. Now here in this representation, there is one problem, that what is the instant where n is 0? Whether it is at n equal to 0, at 0.5 or 1 or 2 or whatever. So for that, we mark a arrow below the value which is at n equal to 0. Then on the right hand side, this becomes n equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. And on this side, minus 1, minus 2, minus, like that. If you do not mention this arrow, by default, it is assumed that the first value is at n equal to 0, and this is at 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So this arrow has very much its importance, that you should not forget that where the arrow is, because it will tell you where n is equals to 0 and when it is n equal to 1 or minus 1. What is that value? Further, these brackets are closed with the last value, so it means it has got only 5 elements, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements on. But if it is infinite function, that the signal goes on increasing like this, then instead of this, what we do, we mark dots like that, so that the signal is extended. Okay, so this is when we have to show the signal is continuous and it is extending further, we put by dots. So that is the third way of representation of discrete time signal. Fourth way is we can represent it by a table. Simply we write the independent variable, that is n, its different values, where the signal is being defined, and then what is the value of the signal. It is 0.5, 1, 2, 4, 8. So like this, we can represent any discrete time signal. We can have any one of these four representations for discrete time. All right. So this was all about the representation of signals. Now we next is we move to the transformations on the independent variable of the signal. Now transformation means that when we apply some mathematical operation or when we do some kind of transformation, that is, we want to transfer the signal, we want to change the signal by applying some kind of mathematical way. So that transformations when are applied on independent variable, then we say transformations on independent variable, and when it are applied on dependent variable, that is amplitude, we say transformations on dependent variable. First we take transformations on independent variable. Now here it is independent variable is time. So we say there are three types of transformations. One is time shifting. Second is time reversal. Third is time scale. So let us discuss these transformations one by one. First is time shifting. So what we mean by that, suppose we have any signal xt. Now we want to transform or obtain a new signal which has some kind of shifting in time. Suppose I want a yt, a new signal which is being shifted by this capital time t, where capital T is the constant. So what will happen? If this capital T is positive, if T is positive, then what will happen? The signal will get shifted towards right hand side, and we say it gets delayed. We will just sketch by taking up an example, but just right now you can note down what it means. And if T is negative, the signal gets shifted towards left, and we say it gets advanced. All right. So we were discussing time shifting property. So what we discussed, that if there is any signal xt, there is a shift by t unit, and if t is positive, it gets shifted towards right hand side, negative, and it shifts towards left hand side. So let us take example and consider one signal. Suppose this is a continuous time signal xt given to us. Now we want a new signal yt, which is x of t minus 2. So that means the capital T is 2 and is positive. So there will be a shifting in the right hand side. So what will happen? This signal, as it will get shifted by 2 units. That is the capital T units. So whatsoever is the value at 0, now it will come at capital T, that is at 2. Whatsoever is at 1, it will come at 1 plus capital T. That is 1 plus 2, 3. And at 2, it will come at 2 plus 2, 4. So the new signal will start from 2 So that will be the new shifted signal xt minus 2. So it gets shifted towards right hand side. And at the same time, this signal, as it is coming after some time, earlier it was start coming at 0, now it is coming at 2. So it is coming after some time, so we say it gets delayed. Right? So whatsoever is the capital T, by that unit it will get shifted towards right hand side. Now let us take another example. When it is x of t plus 2, what will happen in that? Plus 2 means this capital T is negative minus 2, then only this will become t plus 2. So capital T value is minus 2. So now again the shifting will happen 0 plus capital T. So 0 plus minus 2. So that means what this will get shifted towards at minus 2. 1 plus capital T, 1 minus 2. So that will be minus 1. So whatsoever is at 0 will go at minus 2. Whatsoever is at 1, that will come at minus 1. Whatsoever is at 2, that will come at 0. So let us sketch now x of t plus 2. So this pulse signal will shift by 2 units. 0, this will start from now minus 2. Right? So this gets shifted towards left hand side. Now, this signal is coming before this original signal. So what we are saying, before it is coming before, so when it is t is negative, the signal gets advanced. Right? So like this, the shifting of the signal can be done. Whatsoever is the value of capital T. So now you have to remember only one thing. If signal is xt and there is shifting is by t minus capital T, what happens when t is positive and what happens when t is negative. So that is how the time shifting transformation can be performed. Okay, so this was one of the transformations. We will continue with the other two transformations in the next video. Thank you.